The hashtag Brasil Anistia Não echoes across social media. It's a cry for justice, a demand for accountability. Brazilians remember the horrors of January 8th, when democracy itself was under attack. The scars of that day run deep, a stark reminder of the fragility of our institutions. Anistia Não is a resounding no to forgetting. It is a refusal to whitewash the crimes of those who sought to overthrow the will of the people. This isn't just about hashtags. It's about understanding the very essence of amnesty. Amnesty is not a blanket pardon for any and all transgressions. It is a carefully considered act, reserved for victims of state-sponsored persecution, those who suffered under the iron fist of dictatorships. It's about acknowledging past injustices, offering redress for the pain inflicted by the state itself. The demand for amnesty by those involved in the January 8th attack is a perversion of this noble concept. It's a slap in the face of true victims, those who endured unimaginable suffering under oppressive regimes. These criminals, fueled by hate and a thirst for power, attempted to subvert democracy. They deserve our condemnation, not our forgiveness. Amnesty, in its purest form, is about healing. It's about acknowledging the deep wounds inflicted by oppressive regimes on their own people. During dictatorships, dissent was silenced. Fear was a constant companion. Many were persecuted, tortured, and even murdered for daring to challenge the regime. Amnesty, in these cases, serves as a form of redress. It acknowledges the injustice inflicted upon individuals who were targeted simply for their beliefs, their activism, or even their perceived threat to the regime. It allows for the truth to be told, for the stories of these victims to be heard. It's also about holding the state accountable for its actions. By granting amnesty to victims, the state recognizes its own role in perpetuating violence and oppression. It's a step towards reconciliation, a way for the nation to move forward from a dark and painful past. Osório Ribeiro da Silva. Remember that name. He was a farmer from Iomerê, Santa Catarina. He dared to raise his voice against the military regime. He paid the ultimate price, his life. His story, sadly, is not unique. Thousands were disappeared, tortured, murdered during these dark years. Osório's family, like countless others, lived with the pain of his loss for decades. They fought tirelessly for truth, for justice. They deserved answers. They deserved recognition of their suffering. Amnesty, in cases like Osório's, is not about forgiving the perpetrators. It's about honoring the victims. It's about acknowledging the state's role in their suffering. This is the true purpose of amnesty. It's about providing closure to families torn apart by state-sponsored violence. It's about ensuring that these atrocities are never forgotten. It's about learning from the mistakes of the past and building a more just and equitable future. Section 4. Seeking Justice, Seeking Truth. The Long Road to Reparation. Transitional justice. It's a complex process, a long and winding road towards healing the wounds of the past. Brazil has taken steps in this direction, acknowledging the atrocities committed during the dictatorship. The National Truth Commission, concluding its work in 2024, unearthed horrific truths. Reparations are a crucial part of this process. They are a tangible way for the state to acknowledge the harm inflicted upon its citizens. Families of victims, like that of Osório, deserve recognition of their suffering. They deserve support, financial and otherwise, to rebuild their lives. This is not about forgetting or condoning the actions of the past. It's about acknowledging the truth, however painful it may be. It's about ensuring that such atrocities never happen again. Section 5. January 8th. A Day of Infamy. January 8th, 2025. This date will forever be etched in our collective memory. A day when a mob, fueled by lies and hate, stormed the very heart of our democracy. They vandalized, they destroyed, they sought to overturn the will of the people. Make no mistake, this was not a protest. It was an insurrection, a brazen attempt to install Jair Bolsonaro back into power. These were not patriots, but traitors to our democracy. They sought to silence the voices of millions who had spoken through the ballot box. The world watched in horror as our institutions came under attack. The images of that day, the shattered glass, the defaced monuments, serve as a chilling reminder of the fragility of democracy. Section 6. The perpetrators demand forgiveness, the audacity. And what do these self-proclaimed patriots demand now? Amnesty, forgiveness. They, who sought to dismantle our democracy, now plead for its protection. The irony is staggering. The audacity is breathtaking. Amnesty is for the victims, not the perpetrators. It is for those who suffered at the hands of the state, not those who sought to wield its power for their own nefarious purposes. To even consider amnesty for these individuals is to spit on the graves of those who died fighting for a more just and equitable Brazil. Let's be clear. These individuals must face the full force of the law. They must be held accountable for their actions, for the damage they have inflicted upon our nation. To do anything less would be a grave injustice. Section 7. No amnesty for the enemies of democracy. Anistia Não. This hashtag is more than just a social media trend. It's a declaration. It's a promise. We will not forget. We will not forgive. We will hold those responsible for the January 8th attack accountable for their crimes. Amnesty, in its true sense, has no place in this conversation. It is a tool for healing the wounds of the past, not for whitewashing the crimes of the present. We must never forget the lessons of January 8th. We must remain vigilant in our defense of democracy, always ready to call out and condemn those who seek to undermine it. The fight for a just and equitable Brazil continues, and we will not rest until justice is served.